at the last 6 RIPE meetings that we've had around Europe, that's over the last 3 years, we've had about 3,500 attendees come to these meetings. And out of those 6 meetings in the last 3 years, can anyone guess how many Montenegrins have been to that RIPE meeting? Any guesses? 1? Okay, I think 1. And now we've got 30 registered, so that's fantastic to see. And I think also from a RIPE NCC point of view, it's great because we have 13 members here in Montenegro and we've got 30 attendees. So I think we've got fantastic coverage of our membership. So I'm glad that us coming to the region, you guys have shown out come out in force, and that's one of the reasons why we're here. And that leads me to my next point. Why do we have these regional meetings for exactly that case? While the RIPE meetings get together 600 to 700 people from all around our service region and beyond, our entire community, it's not always easy for people to get to these locations, perhaps for resource regions, financial, or just being able to take a few days off, visas, the travel distance, or perhaps language. So we've designed these regional meetings over the last 10 years to combat some of these factors. So that's why we get here. It's all about networking. It's all about bringing different people together. It's all about sharing best practices, having discussions about some of the issues that are pertinent to you here in the region and that are going on globally, that we want to bring these discussions here. So one of the other goals that we have, of course, is encouraging the local community to get together. And I was talking to a couple of people from Montenegro last night, and I asked them, how often do you get all the operators in Montenegro together? And they said, they had a bit of a think about it, and they said, well, I don't think we've ever done that before. So I'm glad to see that we can act as a catalyst for getting you together, and I think I already want to plant a seed in your minds here locally about doing this more often. We're here now, we've helped you get this first one going, but I think it would be fantastic if you could develop something, even perhaps something like a NOG, a local NOG here, where you could get together. So I'm really going to be talking to a lot more of the locals about how you might be able to achieve this and how the NCC and other organisations like ISOC and EURIX and others would be willing to contribute to help you get that off the ground. But I think it's something you should think about, and I think it's something I'd like locals to come and talk to me or some of the other NCC staff about while we're here. So do come and approach me about that. Just thought to take a look at some of the numbers. This is the last regional meeting that we held in Albania. And it was a great turnout, and it was fantastic, again, to see so many Albanian operators in one room, and it was fantastic for them to get together and talk with each other, as well as talking to us. But the turnout from the other countries wasn't as big as we may have hoped for, but that's not always the goal. However, here in Montenegro, perhaps because of its somewhat neutral country in certain respects, it's also very centrally located, and maybe the nice location of Budva had something to do with it, I'm not too sure. But what I'm seeing here is a fantastic mix of countries from throughout the region and beyond, and I'm quite proud that we've achieved this, and I'd say it's probably one of the most successful in terms of getting as many countries from around the region together, and that's great to see. So well done for doing that. And what I'm also seeing, because of all the hands that went up at the start, is a lot of people are starting to return to these meetings. So we are, in a sense, building a regional community, and that's also great to see that people are able to network across the borders, people are able to share information across the borders, and that's another great sign of success. So well done to all of you for doing that. From an NCC perspective, and the reach out that we've been doing, we held a survey last year for not only our members but the entire community, asking you what you thought of the NCC, what was going on in your region, and so on. And again, in total, I think we had about 3,500 responses, which was a record, and quite a good number came from this region. And we listened to and we took that information, and we're now currently engaged in sorting out some of the actions that you told us we needed to do at the NCC, and we've got an action list of about 40 to 50 actions, and some of them are very pertinent to what's going on here in your region. And again, if you'd like to discuss some of these points further, you can talk to me, or you can talk to some of our staff. If it's easy enough, could I ask our staff to stand up for one moment, please? These are some of the staff with us here today. Just stay there for a minute so everyone can see you, because I'd like each and every one of you to approach at least one or two of these staff members, and the staff are going to try and approach as many of you as they can. We've got enough staff here to meet every single person in this room and out there drinking coffee and on the beach. So I do ask you to get in contact with them, talk to them about things you'd like to know about the NCC, things you'd like us to do, or perhaps local problems that we can connect you with other people in the region with that can maybe help you. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's our lovely staff. And again, showing the importance, I think our senior management team has come out in force. These are some of the chaps on the team. Again, they do see the importance of reaching out throughout our service region, and our seniors are here. And these are the ones who can really bug about some of the decisions that have been made. And if you want to go even higher than that and really complain to some people, quite a few of our board members are here. Could I ask the board to stand up, please? So this is our board, and even our chair, Mr. Nigel Titley, has turned up, and our treasurer, Remco van Mook. So any financial issues go to Remco. And we have one last honoured guest, the right chairman, Hans-Peter Holland. He's just up the back for those of you who haven't seen him. So again, anything that's explicitly about RIPE, working groups and the policy development process, most of our staff can help you with that, but I'm sure Hans-Peter Holland will be more than willing to talk to you about that as well. We do have the NCC does have a service centre. These are our two lovely colleagues that are just out there. If you have specific needs from the NCC, then go and approach them. They've got their laptops, they're connected to the office, they're waiting to help you, so go and have a chat with them if there's some specific needs you need from the RIPE NCC. Of course, as I said, one of the keys to these meetings is not only sharing best current practices and having discussions, but it's also about networking. So we had a nice event last night. I think some of you have already broken the ice with each other. And we've got a couple of more events today, a gala dinner this evening, which I'm hoping all of you will attend, and another closing reception. And of course, coffee breaks and lunches, so lots of time to be able to engage with each other and the NCC as you wish. So talking about the hosts, obviously the RIPE NCC is one of the hosts, but it's very difficult for us to, we're situated in Amsterdam, we have an office in Dubai, and we have a couple of staff in Russia. We do our best to have our footprint throughout the service region, but we need help when we come to these meetings, and we need local help with logistics, with getting the locals to turn up to the meeting and so on. And of course, we have a fantastic host this time, the Agency for Electronic Communications and Postal Services. They've done a great job working with Martina in getting this organised. And of course, you probably noticed there's no registration fee for these meetings. The RIPE NCC takes quite a bit on its shoulders. Talking with the board, they see the importance of us engaging with our members, with the community, and with you guys getting together, and they're willing to give some of the membership funds towards that. So we are the main contributor. But we also have local hosts. The connectivity, I see many of you on your laptop connected to the Wi-Fi. You can thank T-Mobile for that. They've helped us out with the connectivity. And also the University of Montenegro, I think they're helping us out with the staff at the front. And the local IXP, which is fantastic to see, is also supporting us. So thank you very much to our sponsors. In fact, I'll give them a round of applause. Indeed. Brilliant. But incredibly difficult to organise these meetings without you. So I think I've come to an end with my bit. A little bit of housekeeping. You probably noticed there's a couple of microphones. We really encourage discussion. We'd like, if you see something in a presentation and you don't get it, or you disagree with it, or you'd like to know more about it, you're probably not the only one in the room who thinks like that. So share your views. There's some microphones around, and I think we'll even have a roaming one. But when you go to ask a question, it's quite nice if people understand what perspective it's coming from. Let us know who you are and who you represent or don't want to represent if the case need be. But do make that clear at the microphone. It sort of helps understand the context of the question. If you're a presenter and you haven't uploaded your presentation, please do that as soon as possible, because we need it up here so we don't run around wasting everyone's time. But we also want to make sure we've got all the presentations online so that some of you can go home and have another look at those presentations that you found interesting, or pass that on to some of your colleagues that you think may be interested in that. So all the presentations will be online. Okay, I think you've heard enough from me. You want me to get off? So I'm actually going to introduce, as I talked about just a little bit earlier, our host. It's been fantastic working with them, and they've given us fantastic support over the last few months. So I'd like to ask Pavle Mijuskovic from the Agency of Electronic Communications and Postal Services to say a few words to you all. So I'll hand it over to Pavle.
Good morning. My name is Pavle Mijuskovic. I am Deputy Executive Director of the Agency for Accommodation and Postal Services. Agency recognized the work of the RIPE and the importance of this conference, and we decided to support this conference at the local sponsor. Also, we would like to thank you, RIPE, in the help which offer us in establishing the EXP of Montenegro. So I will say a couple of words about the agency, and I will give a short overview of the electronic communication market in Montenegro. So just for you who are first time in Montenegro, just a couple of basic data. Area of Montenegro is about 14,000 square kilometers, population is 620,000. We have a sea coast almost 300 kilometers, beaches 74. Highest mountain, it's a Bobotov Kup, 2,500 meters. Capital and administrative center is Podgorica, where live about 1/3 of the population. We have 4 ports and 2 airports. So about the agency was established on March 8, 2001. We are an independent regulatory body. We regulate the electronic communication market and postal services. Our main goal is to provide secure and predictable environment for all operators, to create conditions for implementation and development of implementation new technologies, and also to promote efficient use of limited resources, radio frequencies and numbers. Also, we promote competition and prevent distortion of the market. Also, we resolve disputes between operators and protect the end users. About the agency, more managing body is the council of the agency and executive director, and there is 70 employees in the agency, including president, the council members, and executive director. So it will be short about the market. We have 40 registered operators. We have 4 fixed operators, 3 mobile operators, 16 ISPs. We have 7 operators for IFM, what is actually the distributors of TV programs. The sector revenue last year was about 231 million, and they invest last year 117 million. In fixed telephony, we have about 150,000 subscribers. Its penetration is about 24%. Here we have a dominant operator of Crnogorski Telecom who provides this connectivity for us. In mobile telephony, we have better competition. We have about 1 million subscribers. Penetration is very high, 165, and the highest market share has the Telenor, 37%. But the other operators are pretty close. For broadband internet access, we have about 150,000 subscribers. Fixed penetration is 18.5%. Mobile penetration is 8.9%. This is just data SIM cards. If you're talking about people who use the internet on the mobile phone, it's going about 60%. And household penetration is about 59%. And the internet usage is 70%. So the dominant technology here, we have ADSL, but also we have 32% of the cable network HFC, and we also going to develop, to implement more of the fiber. So we have about 11% of the people who use the FTTH or FTTB. For distributor of TV programs, we have about 190,000 subscribers, and dominant technology, we don't have here dominant technology, it's with the satellite about 35, cable is 32%, and the actually the IPTV 32%, and the cable is 29%. So what we did last year, we achieved, we have like a spectrum for the radio frequency for mobile operators, so we collect about 50 million. We also established system for data collection. We have also established system for infrastructure mapping, tariff calculator where our customer can compare the tariff for different providers. In 2014, we signed a roaming agreement with Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, and Macedonia. So we going in 3 steps, so we'll decrease the price of the roaming. And also, it's a third year in the row, we reduce the price of the long-distance call, ADSL, fixed to mobile calls and international calls for Crnogorski Telekom, who is a dominant operator on the market. So thank you for your attention, and have a fruitful conference.
Okay, great. Thank you, Pavle. So that's it with the introductions from the hosts. Now we're going to move on to the program itself, and of course it takes a lot of effort to get these programs going, and we have a great program committee. So I'm going to ask Jan George, the chair of the Southeast Europe 6 program committee, to introduce himself and introduce the PC and the agenda. So I'll take it over to Jan. Thanks, Jan.
Thank you. Dobro jutro. Kako smo? Smo u redu? Rano je jutro, jeli? I'm on engleski. Hello, my name is Jan George. I'm the chairman of the SCE program committee. I've been chairing this from SCE 2, and I'm happy that we met here in Montenegro. It's, as you can see, it's beautiful. For those people watching remotely, you should be here. Yeah. Okay. To put the program together, it's quite a lot of work because we try to recruit speakers. We go around the world. We talk at different conferences to different people, and then we try to get the best content to the region. And this takes quite a lot of time and efforts. And this is the program committee, 13 people. I know it's for some people this is not a lucky number, but this time it was. So I would like everybody from my program committee to stand up, please. So, okay, we are here for you. If you have any suggestions, any comments on the program, please talk to us. We have red badges. Well, Serge has a yellow one, but yeah. Let me see, I need to go back. So this is, thank you very much, everybody. This is the program committee in pictures. If you want to have a better look, you can download the presentation and look at them. I'm going the wrong way. This is very confusing. Look at this. It has the mind of its own. Okay, so we have 160 registered attendees. We have 24 accepted agenda items. So this time we decided to extend the program. Usually it was 1.5 days, but then we had quite a lot of good content. So we said, okay, let's make it 2 full days of the meeting without the workshop. We had 2 SCE PC calls, so that was done fairly easily and quickly. Usually we had more, but this time the things went pretty well. And as Serge said, we have the representation from basically all region. And I will say it again what Serge already said. Here are the mics in the room. We encourage the discussion. We want your feedback. Don't be shy. We usually don't bite, usually. So please use these mics and ask questions, you know, because if you don't ask questions, then you will never know. You will never get an answer without the question. Yeah, and thanks to RIPE NCC staff also. Big applause. So yeah, with this, I will just get off the stage, and I would like to ask my friend Marco to come here. He has quite an interesting title of his presentation. It's about Madman, or how to sell the technology. We've been selling IPv6 for how many years? Many, right?
10, 15.
15? Okay, so let's see. Thank you, Marco.